Hey, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Auto Grade podcast. I have the pleasure to having here in my first episode. This is going to be a brand new podcast talking about deep thoughts and deep thinking. So, first, I have the blessing of having one of my best friends, Alejandro, otherwise known as Alehfitt, Hadad. So, Alejandro, please introduce yourself to the audience. Thank you so much
Hey,
for
how
being
are
here.
you? It is a pleasure to be here, of course. As your friend, it's just simply a pleasure to be here with you and sharing any experiences that I can and sharing my thoughts, our feelings with the people in the podcast. So, just to give you a quick introduction of myself, my name is, like you said, Alejandro Hadad. I also have an Instagram called Alehfitt, and I just love doing healthy recipes, concentrate on everything that is health related because I like to advance my health and help others advance their own health to live life at the fullest they can. Right. And that's like been my passion ever since I started my college career. That's why I studied kinesiology, which is the study of human movement. And I kind of like transitioned also into nutrition and all that is related to healthy eating, healthy recipes. So basically, that's who I am, a person that values a lot my health and the health of others, and trying to help them reach the highest peak of their physical, mental, and psychological capabilities.
And being completely honest with you, you have been a lot of help in my journey of overcoming my storms with the health department. You have been instrumental in my recoveries from each one of the surgeries. So I'm very thankful for you for your help, and I'm very glad that I have you here in my first podcast for the Auto Gray.
It
So
is my pleasure.
no, thank you for being here. So let's get right into it. And I know that in any good journey, there's ups and downs.
In
And I
every
just
single
want to
one.
know, what is one moment in your life when you have been knocked down?
So one of the biggest moments where I was knocked down was during an internship at a athletic training department in Katy, Texas. Basically, when I started my career, one thing in kinesiology, one thing that I did not realize it was what looking for a career path entailed. Like how I would navigate the process of graduating and then transitioning into a successful career, right? And one of the things that knocked me down was one day we had a talk one day with the coaches and the staff in the department of athletic training. And there was one person that made a comment that truly impacted me in a way that I didn't know how deep it was. He literally said um that this career, the one that we chose, right, was a career that had basically little reward. And I kind of I really did not understand where that came from, but he basically, like, his exact words were, if you are in this career for the money and satisfaction, then you're in the wrong career. And I did not understand where that thought came from because I don't believe that's true like right now. But in the moment, I did not realize. I did not really allow myself to navigate that thought myself. I just completely believed what he said. And it knocked me down into a negative spiral of thoughts where I thought I would never be able to be successful in this career. I would never be able to be stable economically, mentally, physically. And it led me to a point in my life where I thought I had chosen the wrong career. It led me to a point where I thought that I would never achieve anything, that I had lost 4 years of my life in a career that would not achieve anything. And it was hard because your thoughts play against you. Your and the belief of others, if you don't truly like go out there and explore yourself and you only believe on what others say and others think of a specific topic, then you just let yourself be sunken down by that thought instead of like you finding your own. So I would say that was the lowest point or one of the lowest points in my life where I thought I was completely lost and that I had to start all over again with something that I really did not enjoy, or basically like I thought I had not found my passion, that I had not found something that I can do that I love and that's also can be successful economically and like in terms of career wise. So that was probably one of the lowest points in my life.
And I honestly feel you because in my journey as well, in many surgeries, there have been many ups and downs. And
Mm-hmm.
having negative thoughts is key to your downfall. So
It
having
is.
those negative thoughts, and is that's why it's so important to have the positive people at your ear, because if it gets into your head, something negative is gonna stay there and stay there and stay there until you find a way to get out. But it's really important to have like the same kind of thoughts, positive thoughts from people outside of you. That's why it's important to have a good circle around it. I'm glad that I have you on my circle, and you always were one to tell me the positive things that I can do. And honestly, there were many moments in my journey that I feel like the same, like those negative thoughts were there. But now looking back at it, I can see like what the negative thoughts were there, but I was able to overcome them. And that's how I'm going to go to my second question. What was the thing, thought, or person that helped you overcome that storm?
There's not, I wouldn't say that there's one single person, one single thought, or one single action that helped me overcome what I was going through. It was just a, it was just a combination of different amazing people, including yourself, including my family, and a really deep kind of like analysis of my own thoughts and analysis of my own beliefs. Okay. So I can sit down here and talk about all the people that helped me in this process, including yourself, and I can be like, I'm grateful for every single one of those people that helped me understand how important it is to believe in yourself, to go out there and experience, take risks, explore, because this life is too short for you to only be centered about around negative thoughts. But if there's one thing that has helped me a lot in this process and that continues to help me to this very day, and I know it's going to continue to help me throughout the rest of my life, is being able to turn around those thoughts and think positively about anything you're experiencing. Every single thing that happens to you in this life has a purpose, has a meaning, and it has a solution. You never are stuck in a single place unless you want to be stuck in that place. That's the key. It is you that can take action. So for me, the key thought that helped me overcome all the negative thoughts, all the issues that I had, to the point where like I can accept it. I can be like clear out in my head that I know I had depression at some point, right? And that's something that I have to accept. But the thought that truly helped me get out of that little hole in my life was, how can I look at this from a different perspective? How can I turn that negative thought into a positive thought, right? So, for example, just to give you a quick idea, I would always think, okay, I'm never going to reach anything with this career. And I am just going to have to study again because there's no single path for this career for me to be successful economically. And that thought kept ringing over. And it was like a spiral of negative thoughts that I went to, like, okay, so then I have to find another career. Then I will have to study again for years. Then I would have to get into debt. So for me, the, the ability to be able to stop my negative thoughts for a second and be like, how is this true? Or is this really true? And how is this helping me? Right? Being able to analyze every single thought from that perspective allowed me to turn those thoughts into, okay, why, if there's a possibility of this being negative, why cannot there be a positive thought or a positive side to this thought? Right? So I would turn around and be like, okay, actually, instead of thinking what other paths I have for another career, I would think what ways I can advance my passion in this career to be successful. So I think it's just the ability to reframe your thoughts, reframe your thinking, and look at it from a different perspective that will allow you to overcome any challenge you have in life. Because everything in this life is going to put you to the test, and it's you that's able to get out of that test, and that it's able to surpass the test and grow with it. So that's probably the action and thought that has helped me the most.
Looking back at what you answered before, that person that talked to you in your internship told you that there wasn't any success, but you had to really define what success is to you. Each person
Exactly.
has a different definition of success. Some people might argue that their success is having a millionaire house, having millions of dollars, having their own plane. But some people, their success is, I just want to have my family, I want to have enough to support them, and I want to be there for them. And you really have to define what is each for you, because you cannot go by the success of another person, because he said that there is not success, but that thinking is for him. Doesn't have to be me for you. It doesn't have to be like you have to earn millions of dollars. That might be for him, but that might not be for you. For example, I just want to have my family and be supportive of them. I don't need a $25 million home, right? That's not success for me. So we have to really define what success is for us. And there are many things that can help you get out of that. And thinking positively is one of them. For example, one of the things that helped me in my journey was my faith. My
Mm-hmm.
faith is what founded everything that I believe now and founded the beginning of my journey of recovery from each one of the surgeries. I remember reading the book of Job, and I talked about this in another video that I have in my channel. Google if you guys didn't follow by now. But I have it there because it really impacted me. I read it in a class, and I remember thinking, okay, wow, this person went through a lot and still believes, still went to it, and still work at it. And like you said, life is not easy. Life will help, it will hit you with challenges. Nobody said in the instructions of our life that life was gonna be easy. For example, at the beginning of our birth, right? Our mothers were having a tough time because I had to take my hat off for them because that's really painful,
It
right?
is.
To have a son or daughter, that's really like it hurts. So there's nothing easy in this life. There's nothing easy that you can accomplish in this life. So you have to work at it, see what success is for you, what you want in your career, what is it that you want in what you're doing. It's like if it's amazing to have a passion.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people, they're not looking at it as for example, I know you are looking for, and you're gonna talk about this later, to helping other people begin their journey in the health awareness, right?
Yes.
So success for each one of those people are gonna be different, right? You wanna help others, but he doesn't necessarily want to do that. So why compare ourselves to the dreams of somebody else? We have to
Mm.
compare. We have to put ourselves in our dreams and push forward always so that we're looking always towards the future for ourselves, not for anybody else. So it is
And
really important
with
to
that being
define that.
said, I would like to argue more than success is happiness. What defines your happiness? Because I believe that success and happiness are sometimes interchanged, but they're completely different. You can be successful and not be happy. But if you're happy, you're successful. And that's
Exactly.
the key thing. And also going back to what you said, comparing yourself to anybody else is only going to lead you to unhappiness because you're trying to compare somebody else's success that you don't know if that success makes them happy and you're setting it equal to your own happiness, which is not true. So you have to define what your happiness is for you to be able to be successful at being happy in this life.
And
Basically,
exactly, it
happy
might
people be
seem
happy.
that some people are having their plan, they're having their amazing life, but we don't know what's behind their thoughts. Are they good with their family? Right? Are they having a happy life? They might, but they might not. So, like you said, success doesn't equal happiness. And I believe that Aristotle said that we have to look for happiness as a whole, as a human species. So, we have to look forward to that and to really what is the highest virtues for us and looking at that and believing that what we have is what is amazing and what we can do about it is great. So looking at what we can accomplish, right, in our careers and what can we be successful at, that is the most important part that we have to analyze. We
Hmm.
don't have to look at other people's success and compare ourselves to that. We need to look for our own happiness. What is our happiness? Is it helping others? Is our happiness having our family? Is it having a great music career? Anything? Right? So we have to define what is important to us. And once we define that, we are now headed towards the right goal. We are not
Hmm.
looking towards another person's goal. We have to be looking for our goal. We have to first define, and I would like to invite all of you that are listening to this to write down what what are you passionate about, right? Well, what will give you happiness? Write it down because that might give you an idea of what you're looking for, right? For
Hmm.
me, helping people is one of my passions. I feel happy about it. I always smile when I help others. So we have to analyze our deep thoughts in our mind because in our society where we're looking always towards social media in our phones, social media is telling us a story, but it doesn't tell the complete story. It always talks about the happiness,
It
the
only shows what
sadness.
people want to see.
Exactly. So we don't see the backside of it. We only see what they want us to see. So don't judge yourself by the life of others if you don't know how they live that life. So I want to leave that thought there, and I want to go to the next question. And like I previously mentioned, you created something special called Alehfitt. Those of you that are listening, go follow that page. He has amazing recipes that I always recommend to people. And I just wanted you to talk to me about the meaning and purpose of doing the Alehfitt page.
Thank you for introducing my page like that. I truly appreciate it. But when it comes to like the mission or the goal that I have with that page is, first of all, it's kind of like a page for me because it's my way of demonstrating my creativity, demonstrating my passion, right? Through recipes, through exercise, tips, etc., etc. But the ultimate goal and the ultimate mission that I have with that page is showing others that you can live a healthy life without being restrictive, without being thinking that healthy means only restriction and only diet and only like exercise. Being like having a healthy life is more than that, right? And I believe that if you're healthy, both like physically, you're gonna be able to reach so much in your mental capabilities, your career, and your relationship with others, right? So one key thing is that you need to be healthy and happy with yourself. And you achieve that by taking care of your body, taking care of what you eat, taking care of how you move, taking care of how you interact with other people. So that's the main goal that I have. Because if you're able to take care of those little things in terms of your health, in terms of your fitness and your mental like strength as well, you're gonna be able to reach so much more. You're gonna have better relationships. You're gonna have more energy. You're gonna have a better career because you are more clear, like you have more clarity mentally. So there's a lot of stuff that go behind it. But if I have to stay with one thing, it's just helping others reach their peak performance and their peak energy in terms of health, both mentally and physically. So that's the goal that I have with that page.
And I'm always grateful for what you have done for me. You have done pretty much a lot for me. For example, once I recovered from each of the surgeries, you were one of the people that was there for me at the gym, right?
Hmm.
Telling me, okay, I think you should try this. And you helped me go forward with that. And I think you can help a ton of people by sharing your knowledge, right? That you have in that. And for example, there's a recipe that you guys might like. He has a brownie recipe that I find amazing, which is like I think it's like 3 ingredients. Right? We sometimes find in food a lot of ingredients that are really bad for our body and that we
Yeah.
just take for granted. We have to take care of our temple, which is our body. And so we sometimes put food that is wrong and chemicals in food that ruins our health. So we have to pay attention. And I think one of the biggest things that you taught me was to always look at the back of the products, at the ingredients, right? And knowing which one. And I always remember when I see natural flavors, I always get reminded of you. I was like,
Yep.
no, oh no, okay, I have to move on.
I'm gonna put it back.
Yes, and I think you have been instrumental in that, and I think you can help a lot of people by teaching them how to take care of their health. People argue that going to fast food places and buying out there is cheaper and faster. But does the faster go with the price of your health? Because it's not cheaper at the end, right? Because you might have a $11 combo at McDonald's, but with $11 you can cook breakfast, lunch. I'm not gonna include dinner, but at least those two. But we have to take care of our health, and we have to analyze that if we don't take care of our health, at some point it's gonna cost us back. One of the
Mm-hmm.
things that in my journey that I learned is to eat better. Okay. And once I ate better, everything worked. And people asked me, how are you doing with your health? I was like, I'm taking care of my diet and I'm doing exercising. Doing both is going to help me in the future. It
It
might
is.
seem like we are out of society by doing exercises and taking care of our health, but we have to be that outsider, right? Because we don't want to fall into the trap of threatening our health, which is a very important factor in our life. So I'm very thankful for you for sharing that information about Alehfitt, and I invite all of you to follow Alehfitt. I'm gonna leave the account in the description so you guys can follow him. Let's go into the next question, which I
Go
think is
ahead.
gonna be pretty deep. So, who has been the biggest influence in your life?
Wow. This is gonna sound cliche, but it's definitely my mom. Uh she has shown me that it's never too late to start something new. It's never too late to like do anything you can to advance your life, advance your health. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to continue working hard. It's never too late to do anything, right? She has fought so hard for every single one of us, like my two brothers and my dad. And she has shown me that despite all the challenges, despite all the obstacles, despite all the negativity, all the difficulties, you can still advance, you can still move forward. And then every time you surpass a challenge, you grow. It's really important for you. Like you can be knocked down and everybody can get knocked down. But what matters is not that you get knocked down. What matters is you stand up back again and continue fighting despite all the challenges, despite all the obstacles you face, it's never too late. It's never too late. And people that tell you otherwise, it's because they don't want to take that risk. They don't want to understand the fact that you have to excel and that you have to work hard for whatever you're wanting to achieve. And like you said, life is not easy. And every good result comes with hard work. Because otherwise, everybody in this life would be successful, or everybody in this life would be 100% happy. And like we were talking about, you define your own happiness. But for you to define your own happiness, you have to understand what comes behind finding the happiness, which is hard work, it's dedication, it's resilience. If you don't understand that, you don't want to accept that, you're gonna have a difficult time trying to find everything you want, trying to achieve your goals. So that's probably the person that has helped me the most because to this very day, she continues fighting for us. She continues fighting for making us happy. And it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what she has to do. She would move earth and sky to make us happy and to have us to make our life the best life that she can. So that's basically what I can say. It's my mom. And probably like for many of y'all is the same person. And I know, like I said, it sounds cliche, but I wouldn't change it for anything in this life.
No, and it's a great answer because what when we are born, right, we are giving eternal love here on earth. Right, we
Mhm.
already have it with God, but we have the privilege of having eternal love here on earth. And my mom, and I have the privilege of meeting your mom. I love her, and she's an amazing person. My mom has been a great influence in my life as well. I cannot put certainly because either my mom or my dad will get mad when I say the biggest influence in my life who it is. So I'm not gonna decide on that, but my mom is a great
Nope.
influence. She has taught me a lot. She's the one that, even though she had to come to another country start from zero again. She has
Mm-hmm.
put the foot forward, has put the face forward for us, for me and my sister. She's always working hard, and she is still looking at us for, math, our classes. She's always paying attention to the little stuff, but she also raised us well. And I think both of our moms, I think we can argue, are amazing moms, and we are grateful for them. And
The
they have
best
been
in this world.
one of the biggest influence in our life. So I think that it is important for us to acknowledge those people that have been instrumental in what we are thinking, what we are doing, right? Because if we do not acknowledge, we have to be grateful for that. We have to acknowledge that, right? We
Mm-hmm.
have to acknowledge that I have a father, that not many people have a father that loves them. I have a sister that loves me. I know that you have brothers that love you because I know them both. So we have to be grateful for that. We have to be grateful each single day, being grateful that we can do this podcast right now, that I'm able to speak to you
Mm-hmm.
right now. We have to be grateful for that.
I want to argue, sorry for interrupting, but I just want to add like a little thought is in going back to what you're saying, we have to be grateful for every single little thing we have. If you learn to be grateful for what you have and understanding that others may not have what you have, then that's going to give you a really big leap forward into finding your happiness and being happy in this life. The little things that you take for granted, just being able to sleep under a roof, having a bed, having food every day in front of you, having the opportunity to study, having the opportunity to, like you said, make this podcast, having the opportunity to spend time with your loved ones. Those little moments in life that we take for granted, we have to be grateful for them every single day because there's millions of people that do not have any of those. And we're just blessed to have them.
And it goes along as well with the our thoughts of success.
Mm-hmm.
If we realize how ungrateful we are for the things that we have, and look forward and analyze how grateful, because there are people outside that are gonna say, I wish I could have your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're thinking, who will want my life? But guess what? I have clothes in me. I have food in my fridge. There are people who would love to have both of those, right? And many things that we take for granted. And so it is important for us to analyze that. And if there's something that you guys think from this podcast, is to be grateful. Think about what is important to you. Waking up in the morning, there are people that die while sleeping. My grandmother died while sleeping, right? It is important for us to take those things and look at that and say, oh God, I'm really ungrateful. I have to be more grateful. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing that I'm working for myself, being more grateful. And I've looked at videos to help me be more grateful because, like you said, having a shower, eating, having a roof are something that we take for granted, that is like part of our life. No, it's already there, right? But those are the things that are also worked on by our fathers, by the people that love us, right? And we have to appreciate them because they have put a lot of effort into having that food, having a roof over you. So it is important to appreciate those that help you. It might not be that mom or dad, it might be an uncle, a friend, but we have to be grateful for them. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, if you take something from this podcast, is that be grateful. Practice that each single day. And once we have that, we are going in a great direction. I don't know if you agree with that.
I definitely agree. I'm telling you, it's one of the hardest but most monumental skills in this life. Being able to find happiness and being grateful for every single thing you have, even the small things that you take for granted. That's one kind of like moment where you're gonna like see a complete switch in your mentality, a complete switch in your life. Once you are able to be grateful, understand why you have to be grateful, it's gonna be completely different. I'm telling you.
And, going to the next question, what was that moment that switched everything in your mind? That's like, um, these negative thoughts are killing me right now. What was that moment that switched everything?
Answering similarly to what I said before, there's not a single moment I would say that made that switch, but I would say it's just if there's one thought, if I can try to stay with one thought or one moment, was when I realized this like the time in this life is too short for me to be thinking about negative thoughts. Why would I
That
spend my time? Why would I spend the little time I have here dwelling on negative thoughts that are gonna make me feel sad? That are gonna make me feel that I'm not reaching anything. Why would I do that? Like I would ask myself, what is the reason behind this? Is it helping me? Is it allowing me to live life the way I want to live it? And the answer, of course, was no. So in that moment when I asked myself that multiple times, and the answer to that question every single time was no, I realized like, okay, there's something I'm doing wrong. So I
no,
would say
it's
that's.
amazing that you share that, and
Hmm.
it's important for people because I know there are a ton of people that go through the same thing, and that's why I wanted to have you here as my first guest. And I know your story because we spoke about it, right? And hearing that is great because focusing on the negative will lead you to more negativeness, right? If you focus on the positive, right, it goes along with math, right? If you're positive but you're having negative thoughts, it converts to negative,
Yeah,
right? If you go negative and negative, well, that doesn't go along with math, but it's more negative.
we just don't apply that one.
Don't focus on that one. When positive and positive, it's still positive,
Hmm.
right? So we have to look at that, and it also goes with the success that we were speaking about earlier. Richness for some people might be this money, right? But if you find richness in having your family and enjoying those moments that you spend with them, right? Looking at Thanksgiving that we just went through, right? Being grateful for that is, very important because it makes us realize that we are rich, but we don't know it. We don't realize it, that we are rich already.
Hmm.
Because none of the things that you have here on earth are going in the next life. Once you're in the grave, there's nothing that you can take with you. So realize what is important in your life. Write it down. Have it there somewhere. But realize each day that you are blessed to live another day. And if you are living another day, it means that you have something, you have a purpose. Your purpose here on earth is not finished. I easily could have gone out in the first surgery that I went through. Easily. I was close to death, but I didn't go through it. So that means I have a purpose in this life that I have not accomplished yet. And hopefully one day I will find out that it made positive impact in people. And I'm hopeful that through this podcast and through the videos I'm making in my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, I'm hopefully able to do that. And I know that you will as well with your accounts. And I know people are going to appreciate what we're doing because what we're trying to do is help others. So it is important for us to realize that and to think that we are grateful and to think that we have more to offer to the people here on earth, right? And
Hmm.
that's important for us to analyze. And now going to the next question, it is important for me to know what are your next steps now as Alehfitt?
Well, right now it's in a little hiatus. It's just stopped for now because of different personal things. But the next step is just reconnecting myself. Like it stopped it because for a second, I was like too concentrated on just the following, on just what people thought, rather than truly doing it for myself and the mission that I had. So the next step for my page is just doing it from a perspective of pure enjoyment, and that pure enjoyment translates to helping others, right? Finding a way where I feel comfortable doing it and that I feel it's natural rather than forced. And I know that I love making recipes that are healthy. I love training and treating my body with the necessary exercises to be healthy, to have mobility, to have strength. And for me to translate that natural instinct, that natural passion into videos that I can share with others and that are enjoyable, I would say that's what's gonna make the page successful in the eyes of others, but for me mainly successful for me, successful in the terms of what I want to share. People that want to see it, they're more than welcome, and people that do not agree with that, they're also more than welcome to look for something else. And that's, I would say, the next step that I have for my page, finding that passion, finding that naturalness behind making the videos and behind helping others.
I heard from Alex from, I don't know if you know him,
Yes, I know
that
who he is.
and one of the things he says is like it's better to have 1,000 true followers than 100,000 none.
Hmm.
So it is important for like for me, my videos might not get the views that millions are watching, but if out of the 100, 1,000 views that I get a video, I'm impacting at least one person, that's enough for me, right? I'm releasing my book hopefully next year, and hopefully that book will help somebody, right? That is the most important thing for me. Money, okay, we all need it in this life, right? But it's not the most important factor for me. Like I love helping people. I love being there for others. I feel accomplished that, you know, I had a part in your journey, right? Because I use my learning experience from the surgeries to help you. So I used that experience that for me was bad, right? It was horrible, but I used it in a good way for you, right? I use it good for others, right? That's my success for me. So
And
we each had to
I'm
define
extremely
that.
grateful for that, just so you know.
Now I
Because
know
I
that we
know,
are both grateful to each other,
yeah, I know
and
if you can help, like, you were able to help me, and I know that with your story and your thoughts and your positivity, you're going to be able to help way more people than you actually think you can. I know that for a fact.
I wanted to ask you one more question. If you were going to leave something in this podcast, something to the people hearing this podcast, what would you say to them?
I would say, out of everything we've talked, happiness, passion, resilience, if there's one thing you can take from this podcast, is to never give up, to never let an obstacle, a challenge bring you down and stay down there. There's always a way out. Always. There's always a way for you to stand up. There's always a way for you to continue moving forward. There's always something, somebody, a dream, an action, a goal, a person that you can fight for other than yourself, bigger than yourself. There's always something that you can fight for. And like I said, it's never too late. It's never too late for you to like start over. It's never too late for you to reach your dreams. It's never too late to tell the person that you love them. It's never too late to help one person just smile, have a better day. It's never too late. Just keep that in mind. I would say that's like one thing that you can always take from this podcast. It's never too late.
Well, I want to thank you, Ale, for being here. Thank you for being my first guest. And for those of you that are not subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you like the podcast, please hit the like button, share
Yeah,
this with the people that you love so that we can share the thoughts that we're giving here and our positive thoughts to as many people as possible. And I want to thank you for listening to this podcast. And thank you, Ale, again for being here. And I hope that you go are blessed and have a great day. Thank you so much.
it's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. It was a really big pleasure being here, talking to you just about these topics, just being natural, just saying what I truly believe, what I think, and what we think, right? And just kind of like comparing. It was just a really amazing blessing. And like you said, if if we just are able to impact the life of one single person, that's more than enough, because that can reciprocate to other person, and it's like a chain that is gonna grow and grow and grow. But again, thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure to be here, and I would do it all over again. I would do it again, again, again. Anytime they want me to, do you want to invite me here?
The pleasure is mine. And I'm hopeful in the future that we have you again as second time guest. And I want to thank all of you for hanging the Auto Great podcast. And I hope that you all are blessed and take care of each other. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you so much.